Does your brain need a break? Do you want to rest your brain without sleeping? Today we are going to talk about the top 8 ways you can give your brain a break without actually sleeping. First things first, sleep is so important. It would be really irresponsible of me to tell you about ways to rest your brain without sleep if I didn't first mention the fact that sleep is critical for neural function. In fact, breathing's really important. Your brain needs oxygen. Water is really important. Your brain gives up water almost immediately through dehydration. But sleep is third only to water and oxygen for how your brain functions properly. So, definitely, I do not want you to devalue sleep, to deprioritize sleep, or to stop sleeping. What I do want you to do is to understand how to rest your brain throughout your day to be more productive after you've had a really good night's sleep. The first tip for resting your brain during the day without sleep is to take a break. I know that seems so simple, but taking a break will really help your brain decrease its stress response and increase its productivity and motivation. Now, how often should you be taking a break? You should take a break about every 45 minutes or so. I've talked elsewhere on this channel about how the ultradian cycle, which is the cycle that your brain is on, is about 45 minutes long. So what that means is that you should focus and work for 45 minutes and then plan to take a break. And this will help your brain rest. The next brain-based tip for how to help your brain rest during the day without sleep is to limit your breaks to about 15 to 20 minutes. Now, there's a reason for this. On the one hand, I want you to take more breaks. All the research shows that more breaks equals more productivity. However, there's a limit to how long those breaks should be. The research shows that if your break is somewhere between 15 and 20 minutes, 15 minutes is anything under 15 minutes isn't long enough, but anything over 20 minutes actually increases what we call a refractory period. Effectively, if it's too long of a break, it'll be harder to get back to the work you were doing. So, definitely take more breaks, but make sure that those breaks are between 15 and 20 minutes maximum. The next brain-based tip for helping your brain rest up without sleep is to listen to music. You've probably heard me say that movement is like magic. It turns out that music is also like magic, and there's a reason. When we listen to music, what happens is both hemispheres of the brain come alive, and some neural networks known for innovation and creativity start to recombine and become more active. So, if you want to give your brain like a little boost that's also a break, listen to music, and this will help with making sure your brain comes out of that stress response and is more performative. The next brain-based tip is to move around. You've heard me say it before, but movement is like magic to your brain. Now, sometimes people tell me that they really don't like to exercise, and that's okay. When I say movement, I don't mean HIIT or P90X. Even just a 15-minute walk has been shown to activate knowledge, learning, and memory networks and increase a person's productivity, innovation, and creativity. So, if you want to give your brain a break while also increasing its ability to produce, take a little break and move around. The next brain-based tip for giving your brain a bit of a break or a boost is the following. Get outside. Your brain loves fresh air. When you go outside, not only do you have a change of scenery, but you increase your vitamin D, you have a little bit of a break, your brain loves nature. Now, if you can't get outside, or if getting outside is not possible because you work downtown, as an example, at least do this. Work near a window. What research has shown is that workers who have a window, preferably with a nice view, are more productive, and patients who have a window in the hospital actually heal faster. So one of the ways to give your brain a break is to give it a little taste of nature with either a walk outside for fresh air or a window to work near. If you want to give your brain a little rest but you can't sleep, another thing to do is to play a game. If, as an example, you have a game on your phone or a video game or even a real physical analog game, playing a game is actually a way to have more fun, to get out of your head, and to give your brain a source of oxygen and blood flow that will keep it invigorated. So if you are struggling, or if you want to give your brain a little bit of rest during the middle of your day, play a game for about 15 minutes. Sometimes what you will find is the more your brain actually needs a rest during the day, you'll find that you're daydreaming more. This isn't just natural, it's great. Daydreaming actually helps to increase your innovation, your creativity. It increases the activation of your subconscious brain. It can increase blood flow and oxygen to your brain. So actually, daydreaming and drifting is one of the brain-based tips we often tell people to increase how rested and how boosted their brain actually feels. So don't worry, next time you find yourself daydreaming, keep at it. Finally, one of the best ways you can give your brain a little rest during the day without actually sleeping is to meditate or visualize. While this isn't direct work, what it allows is that meditation and visualization are both the process of looking inward. And what we know, researchers in Australia have just figured out, is that when you look inward, your brain actually performs better for you. We're not totally sure why this works, but apparently it does. And so next time you need a little bit of a boost, think about your subconscious, think about your brain, look inward, meditate, visualize, and what you will find is your brain feels a lot better rested and a lot more able to be productive. So while it's not realistic that you'd likely be able to sleep or to nap during your day, what I hope is that these tips, tricks, and tools will be helpful toward making your brain feel more fresh, more productive, and higher motivated. Subscribe below, and we will see you tomorrow.